Well, it's time to change out the rear tire on the bagger. Welcome back, guys. Well, looking at my rear tire and a trip coming up in just a couple of weeks, I just didn't feel like it was safe to take this trip with how that rear tire was looking. Now, it's not showing threads, but it is getting pretty low in the middle of the tire. I mean, if you look at the outside, how much tread's there compared to the middle. Now, these are the Metzler ME888, and I've got about 10,000 miles on the rear of this tire. I just don't feel like still riding it around town and taking about a 2,000 mile trip, it's going to hold up. I don't want to take that chance. Now, let me show you what the front still looks like. That's a lot more tread on the front of that tire, and it actually has more miles than the rear. Now, these tires have held up real well. They have performed pretty well, but I'm going with a different tire for the rear this time. And it's actually right over here. I'm going with a Shinko tire, not the 777. I'm going with the 999, their new touring tire. I want to see how it performs and how many miles I can get out of this tire. Right off the bat, it already feels a lot stickier.
That is sticky.
Than that Metzler. So I'm thinking it's going to handle better in the turns, and that's something I really, really want. If I sacrifice a little bit of mileage, and that's normally what you do for a stickier tire, it just won't last as long. But I'm gonna be okay with that. I want something that's going to grip the road, and I'm not worried about it slipping and perform in all conditions. But I think it's time to get that rear tire off so I can get this one on. So let's jump to it.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is...
The guys down there at Motorsport Solutions in Wetumpka, Alabama are some great guys to work with. I get my tires changed by them and I get my oil from them. But before I put the tire back on the bike, I'm doing a little bit of maintenance, and I did a little bit of update. The update I did is from Ally Art. If you can see in there, it takes up a lot of that slack in that isolator, so there's less movement in the swing arm. Now, I went ahead while I had it at that point and replaced the isolators. So that is the old isolator. I'm pretty sure that needed to be replaced. The other thing I'm doing is brake pads, where it's a lot easier. Now, you don't have to do this at this point. You can do it with the tire on, but I'm just making it a little bit easier before I put the tire on. So we're gonna get into finishing it up and getting the tire on. So I'm gonna just time warp it from here. Well, what should have been just a simple tire change ended up taking a little bit longer. Found this bracket broke right there, so I had to wait for the new one to come in. Now, they make a part where you can just bolt it up, replace this part. I didn't really like that, and they said this part's supposed to be 15% stronger than stock. Time will tell on that, but with it supporting the tailpipe and the saddlebag, I needed to replace it. But now we can throw the saddlebags on and go test out the new tire. So let's go. So far, I'm extremely happy with the new tire. Going into the turns, I can tell it's gripping like I want it to. Now, with the stickier tire, I am going to get less mileage out of it normally, but when I wear it out, I'll let you know how many miles I put on this rear tire. But the way I explain tires is like shoes. You don't want to go run a marathon with boots on, you want the proper shoes, and it's the same thing with your motorcycle. Depending on what kind of riding you're going to be doing is going to determine what kind of tire you need to put on your motorcycle, because you don't want to put the wrong tire on there and you not like it. But now that I have a fresh tire on the bike, it's ready for the next road trip. But I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.